Why your salary keeps you poor. You got the job. You got the raise. Maybe you even doubled your income. So why does it still feel like you're broke? You earn more than you did 5 years ago. Your paycheck looks better. Your lifestyle looks better. But somehow, your bank account doesn't. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your salary might not be the thing making you wealthy. It might be the thing keeping you poor. Not because having a salary is bad. A good income is powerful. The problem is what happens when your entire financial life depends on that paycheck. Because if your income goes up, but your spending goes up with it, you haven't actually become wealthier. You've simply upgraded the price of your life. And this is where the psychology gets dangerous. The paycheck illusion. Imagine two people. Person A makes $50,000 a year. Person B makes $150,000. You would probably assume person B is financially better off. But what if person A spends $40,000 a year, while person B spends $145,000? Person B earns 3 times more money, but they only have $5,000 left after their lifestyle. Person A has $10,000. The bigger paycheck created a bigger lifestyle, not necessarily greater wealth. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it happens so quietly that most people don't even notice. You get a raise. Suddenly, the apartment you thought was too expensive becomes affordable. Then you upgrade your car. Then you eat out more. Then you subscribe to more services. Then vacations become more expensive. Then your definition of normal changes. And 6 months later, your new salary feels exactly like your old salary. That's the trap. Your income increased, but your financial freedom didn't. The real problem isn't your salary. Here's something most people don't want to hear. You don't become wealthy by earning money. You become wealthy by controlling what happens to the money after you earn it. Your salary is an input. Wealth is what you build with the output. Think about it this way. Your paycheck enters your bank account. Then it gets divided. Rent, car payment, food, subscriptions, credit cards, entertainment, shopping, and whatever is left over. You save. That's backwards. Because you're treating saving as the reward for spending. And if you spend everything first, there's nothing left to build with. Wealthy people think differently. They don't necessarily ask, how much can I afford to spend? They ask, how much of my income can I turn into assets? That's a completely different question. The salary trap. A salary gives you something incredibly valuable. Predictability. You know when your paycheck is coming. You know roughly how much you're going to earn. You can plan your bills. You can plan your lifestyle. And psychologically, this feels safe. But that safety can become a trap. Because once your lifestyle becomes dependent on your paycheck, you can't easily stop working. Your job becomes more than a job. It becomes the thing paying for your house, your car, your subscriptions, your vacations, your family's expenses, your debt, your entire lifestyle. And suddenly, losing your job doesn't just mean losing income. It means losing the lifestyle you've built around that income. That's why someone earning $200,000 can sometimes feel just as financially trapped as someone earning $50,000. Their numbers are different, but their dependence is the same. The golden handcuff effect. Here's where it gets even more interesting. As your salary increases, quitting becomes harder. You might hate your job, but you can't leave. Why? Because you've built a lifestyle that requires the paycheck. Maybe you bought the expensive house. Maybe you financed the luxury car. Maybe your monthly expenses have doubled. Maybe your family depends on your income. So you stay. You keep working. You get another raise. And then your expenses rise again. Eventually, you're making more money than ever, but you feel less free than ever. That's the golden handcuff effect. Your salary looks like success from the outside, but internally, it feels like a cage. The $100,000 trap. Here's an interesting psychological phenomenon. A person making $50,000 might dream about making $100,000. They think, if I could just make 6 figures, everything would be different. Then they finally reach $100,000. And what happens? The goal moves. Now they want $150,000, then $200,000, then $300,000. The problem isn't ambition. Ambition is good. The problem is believing that the next income level will automatically create financial freedom. Because if your spending increases every time your income increases, there will always be a new number you need. That's why some people make $50,000 and feel comfortable. Others make $500,000 and feel financially stressed. Income determines your potential, but your habits determine what you actually keep. The consumer upgrade cycle. Your brain is also working against you. Humans adapt. When something becomes normal, it stops feeling special. Your old car once felt exciting. Eventually, it's just your car. Your old apartment once felt luxurious. Eventually, it's just home. That expensive restaurant once felt like a treat. Eventually, it becomes Friday night. This is called hedonic adaptation. Your lifestyle gets better, but your happiness eventually returns toward its old baseline. So you need another upgrade. And another. And another. This creates a cycle. Earn more, spend more, get used to it, want more, earn more, spend more. And you can spend your entire life running inside that loop. So should you stop chasing a higher salary? Absolutely not. This is important. A higher income can dramatically improve your financial life. The problem isn't earning more. The problem is allowing your lifestyle to grow as fast as your income. Imagine you receive a $10,000 raise. You could spend the entire amount, or you could use part of it to improve your life and invest the rest. Now imagine doing that every time your income increases. You aren't just getting richer. You're creating a gap between what you earn and what you need to live. And that gap is where wealth is built. The wealth gap. Let's say you make $80,000 a year. After taxes and expenses, you manage to invest $10,000. Then your income rises to $100,000. Instead of increasing your lifestyle by $20,000, you invest another $10,000. Now you're investing $20,000 a year. Your lifestyle improved, but your wealth-building machine improved even more. That's the key. Don't let every raise become a spending raise. Turn some raises into asset purchases. Stocks, index funds, retirement accounts, a business, skills that increase your future earning power, assets that can produce income. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to become financially difficult to break. Stop asking, can I afford it? Here's one psychological trick you can use immediately. Stop asking, can I afford this monthly payment? Because almost anything can look affordable when you divide it into monthly payments. Instead ask, what could this money become if I invested it instead? A $500 monthly expense doesn't look huge, but $500 invested consistently over many years can become a meaningful financial asset. Every purchase has two prices: the price you pay today and the opportunity you give up tomorrow. That's opportunity cost. And wealthy thinking is largely about understanding that second price. Your salary should be a tool. Your paycheck isn't your enemy. It's your starting point. Think of your salary as a worker. Every month, it brings money home. But then you have a choice. You can send that money toward things that disappear, or toward things that can grow. A new phone loses value. An investment can potentially grow. A fancy dinner disappears in a few hours. An asset can potentially produce value for years. A bigger house may improve your lifestyle, but if it consumes most of your income, it can also reduce your financial flexibility. The goal isn't to avoid spending money. The goal is to make sure some of your money starts working without you. Because eventually, that's what separates income from wealth. The 3 levels of money. There are 3 stages you need to understand. Stage 1, earning. You trade your time and skills for money. Stage 2, saving. You create a gap between income and expenses. Stage 3, ownership. You use your savings to acquire assets that can grow or generate income. Most people spend their entire lives stuck at stage 1. They become better employees. They chase promotions. They negotiate raises. They change companies. They work longer hours. And yes, they may earn more, but they never make the transition from earning to owning. That's the real danger. Because you can only work so many hours. But assets can potentially keep working when you're asleep. The freedom number. Instead of asking, how much money do I want to make? Try asking, how much money do I need to live the life I actually want? That's your freedom number. Maybe you don't need $1 million house. Maybe you don't need a luxury car. Maybe you don't need to impress anyone. Maybe what you actually want is control over your time. The ability to take 6 months off. The ability to leave a toxic job. The ability to handle an emergency without panicking. The ability to say no. That's what wealth can ultimately buy you. Options. The salary doesn't keep you poor. So here's the real lesson. Your salary isn't keeping you poor. Your dependence on your salary can. If every dollar you earn immediately gets consumed, you stay dependent. If every raise creates a bigger lifestyle, you stay dependent. If you spend years earning money without acquiring assets, you stay dependent. But if you use your income to create savings, then use those savings to acquire assets, something changes. Your money starts working alongside you. And eventually, you begin moving from employee, saver, investor, owner. That's the transformation. Final thought. The goal isn't to make your paycheck look bigger. The goal is to make your paycheck matter less. Not because you hate your job. Not because everyone needs to become an entrepreneur. But because financial freedom means having choices. The strongest financial position isn't, I make a lot of money. It's, I don't need every paycheck to survive. So the next time you get a raise, don't immediately ask, what can I buy now? Ask, what can I own now? Because the moment your income starts buying assets instead of just buying a lifestyle, your salary stops being a cage and starts becoming a weapon. Your paycheck can fund your lifestyle, or it can fund your freedom. The choice is yours. And if this video changed the way you think about your money, subscribe, because we're not just learning how to make more money. We're learning how to make money work for us.